Hi guys, I've said before, the only real way that you can challenge Nigel Farage and the rise of reform is to make people's lives better, improve public services, rebuild after the destruction of the Tories. Because if people feel that their lives are better, they'll stick with the incumbent party, the one in power now at the moment. But if you don't, Nigel Farage and Reform UK will rise. Now, it's important that that is taken on board, but not at the expense of everything else. And unfortunately, that seems to be the case according to this interview. So a minister was interviewed by Sky News where he was asked about a racist attack against the Chinese community. And have a listen to his response.
On social media the other day, a takeaway that's completely covered with graffiti and telling people to go home, and people who are shouting at each other in the streets. This is Britain in 2025, and for years governments have talked about the strength of multiculturalism, but now that is under threat. People want to see real action now, not only to deal with migration, but also to deal with the psyche of the nation in parts. What can you say you will do today, tomorrow and next week that will deliver concrete change?
Well, I'm proud to be part of a government that is a mission-driven government that wants to bring about change in our country. On my brief, I've set out some of the things that we're doing to ease the pressures on parents and deliver meaningful change for children and young people across our country. The Prime Minister wants us to go further and faster. That's what we're delivering to make sure we fix the foundations of our economy and restore public services and drive growth in our country. And that's what we're going to be doing as Parliament returns today.
Fixing the foundations, fast, was it further and faster, the slogans? Okay, I got my slogans out. You were asked about a racist attack against the Chinese community, and your response is, we're going to grow the economy. Look, I understand in order to deal with Farage and reform, you need to do these things. But in the immediate, you've been told about a racist. Why didn't he condemn it? Why didn't he say, we are on the side of the people who've been attacked? Ordinary British people are on the side of those who are attacked. We condemn completely this attack. This does not represent Britain. This does not represent ordinary people. These are right-wing thugs. They need to be dealt with. We're going to provide the police with every resources necessary to deal with these issues. And then maybe get into, okay, why is this happening? Because of poverty, because of inequality, because of a whole range of issues. Because the right wing, along with Nigel Farage, are amplifying this, are trying to take advantage of the situation, and we need to deal with that. But just to talk about going further and faster and rebuilding the foundations is not going to work. Look, as I said at the beginning, if you want to deal with Farage, you have to improve the situation for ordinary people. But when there are incidents of racist attacks on members of the public or on communities, that needs to be condemned. Why is he not doing that? Look, I'm not suggesting that he doesn't care, but I think there's a fundamental problem here that many of the politicians, especially the new ones, are being fed, okay, here is your talking point, go on TV and regurgitate this talking point, no matter what the topic is. But you actually have to listen to what's happening. Listen to the question. Listen to the point that's been raised and show some empathy. Because you're starting to sound like the Tories. And I criticise the Tories when they would go on TV and just regurgitate their talking points, not actually listening to the question that was raised, not listening to the issue at hand. Because if you're going to act like the Tories, we know what happened. The Tories were removed because they were disconnected from society. They were disconnected from the problems ordinary people face. People did not feel that they were on their side, and they did not feel that they were doing something in their interest. Labour need to show empathy here. They need to reach out to these communities. They need to show, we're on your side. We're not like the Conservatives. We're not like Reform. We're not going to amplify these things. Yes, fix the foundations of the economy. Fix public services. This is really important. You need to do this, and you need to transmit this information to the public. They need to know that you're doing it. But in an instance like this, you need to take a very strong stance. And unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be happening. And it seems with the likes of Keir Starmer and his rhetoric about immigration, it seems to be an attempt to pander to the worst elements in society. Out of fear, we better not condemn these people because they have so-called legitimate concerns. No, you need to take a principled stance. Somebody has to do it. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.